3 people, hit the like, please. I would appreciate it very, very much. Unknown Trader, what's going on, man? I could always count on seeing you here, huh? Man, I got to make these fucking things lower because, Derek, what's going on, brother? Because when the comments are on the screen, you can't see what the fuck it says. Derek, you're a member. Oh, that's what's up. Did you get a membership gifted to you or did you buy one? Either way, it's cool. Only show I watch. Really? Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Al Donato, what's going on? Josie Bell, thank you for these shows. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for your support. Hit the like, guys. Come on, man. Hit the like. You are better than Parker and Dean. Well, I appreciate that. I couldn't imagine a better compliment. I don't agree, but I really appreciate that. I think the problem is, I'll tell you why I always thought that if I do this, I could be somewhat successful at it, which I'm nowhere near that yet, but it's because liberals, okay, when they talk about this stuff, it's very soft language they use, and they don't want to be too rude, and they don't want to offend people and stuff like that. I got a different, I'm a different type of person than Parker and Dean. Believe me, our lives couldn't be more opposite. So I speak differently, I curse and I fucking, I make it clear when I feel strongly about things, and I'm not afraid of offending people, and I say what's on my mind. Those guys won't do that. Those guys won't do that. The street aspect is the appeal of the show. Thank you, Unknown Trader. Yeah, that's what I was basically trying to say. Yep, that's what I think it is. That's why I named it Street Smart Politics, because I'm not. Parker and Dean, they got like economics degrees, and they're very, very, very book smart. I don't claim to be. I'm a guy who, I have a lot of street smarts, and I think that could 100% be applied to politics in every situation, because this is how you're being bullshitted and you can see through people. That looks great, baby. Good job. There's only 10 people here anyway. I love you. All right. Colonel Quill, hey now. Jersey Girl, what's up? Thank you for being here. Yeah, everybody, please smash the like and subscribe. Very important. I believe it was gifted. What was? Different shows you use true common sense. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just common sense. I mean, it's just the thing that blows my mind the most. Hold on, I just saw your MobTube shows FBS, and you told the chat you aren't making any money, only the few super chats. You are doing an average of about 30,000 views daily, and you are monetized. That pays. Now, I've always made my money through donations, just like most people. Not even close, Al. I got a video on here where I got 39,000 views, and I made $1.01 off of it. These are not like regular views. If I was doing long form shows like where it's not, like, in other words, where you got to click on the show, not where the majority of people are scrolling through and they just happen to see your show, and most of them skip right over it. You don't get nearly as much. You don't get anything. You get it's despicable. It's my last thing said that I get 59 cents per 1,000 views, which is, I don't believe that's even true, because I told you about the one with 39,000. So the channel is always depended on donations to make money, because even on the MobTube stuff, when I was I got videos that have 80,000 views, I might have made $200 off 80,000 views, and it took me 3 months to get the 80,000 views, so I know you would think that, but it's not true, believe me. Maybe you should consider actual journalism and do real research. Yeah, Bob, I do real research. That's why everything you say in here, I fucking, I debunk. You should actually do some real research, and MAGA people should actually do some real research, And what I was going to say, do I even remember? Oh, what blows my mind is, okay, Bob, whatever you say. But it's funny that I'm always right and you're always wrong, right? Ain't that some shit? I'm from New York originally, and my family is all from Brooklyn, Queens. The way I grew up, the way I am, and the way my whole family was is they're all street smart people. You come from areas like that, you're supposed to be street smart. You're supposed to be raised in the streets, right? But the most baffling part about MAGA to me is it's not people like Bob, who he's obvious hillbilly, you know what I mean? He probably grew up in a fucking shack or a trailer somewhere in the middle of nowhere. People like that I expect to be gullible. It's on my channel hey, Miss Can't Be Wrong, I do a lot of mob tube shows. I named it mob tube, shows about the mafia and stuff like that. And so obviously it's a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of Italians, okay? And I mean, there's people from the 5 boroughs that are as gullible as people like Bob. And that's shocking to me because you just expect people from those areas to be street smart, because you kind of got to be street smart to survive in New York. But they're not, because anybody with street smarts could see through Donald Trump. If you support Donald Trump, unless you're rich and you do it for that reason, or you're just doing it out of racism, if you support him because you think he's good for the country or good for you, you have no street smarts. None whatsoever. Any street smart guy can see through a con man. Any street smart guy can see through a con man. And these guys can't. So that's the most baffling part. It's not the people in the hills of Alabama that surprise me. It's like I told you, you could sell them magic beans, and even after they find out they don't work, you could sell them more, But the guys in Brooklyn and the Bronx and Queens and Staten Island, it's like, I don't know, even like South Philly, places like that. I mean, these people are as gullible as they come. It's just shocking to me. It's shocking to me. Now, Bob, I'm not even going to go back and forth with you, but you watch these shows. You're here for every show, even though you hate me. You can't help but watching. And every single thing Trump supporters bring up, I debunk it. Everything. And everything I bring up, I show proof of it, and I'm always right. So that. You just don't want to admit it. And I'll tell you what, Bob, Google research for you is better than no research. I Google things in real time when I'm on here. That's not how I do research in general. Okay. But isn't it funny that the stuff I says always turns out to be true, right? Yeah. So you should at least try Google, because you don't know anything. The thing I can't get over is the hate of a Republican. I'm an atheist, but to think Republicans think they're the chosen ones by God is ridiculous. And not only that, but to think that Donald Trump is the chosen one. Depends, Bob. Depends. Nice ad hom. Whatever you say, you don't know me. And you don't know me, fuckface, but you pretend you do. Real BS, the not one truth. Don't know why YouTube keeps popping your dumb show. Except for everything I say, that's the truth. That's another thing that's baffling about you guys is you could be showing mountains of evidence or something, and you're still like, nope, I don't believe it, because you don't want to. It doesn't fit your narrative, You learn it at a young age living in one of the 5 boroughs. At a very young age. Hell, you got to be cautious of everything. You know what I mean? You're taught to have your head on a swivel and to overthink things, because there's people everywhere trying to take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing to me that so many of these people, but I'll tell you my theory on that is that a lot of these people, they're because they're from the streets and stuff. Not everybody from the streets is like this, but a lot of them, They have a very, very, very low level of education. If you watch how they write and stuff like that, you'll see they can barely speak English, and they're just not bright people in general. Street smarts, book smarts, or any smarts. You guys aren't right about much, just Fox propaganda is all. Yeah, and that stuff ain't right. They absolutely cannot defend Trump in a vacuum without comparing him to others. MAGA supporters know he's a mongrel. They just don't want to admit they are too. Oh, of course. No doubt. They wouldn't vote for him if he wasn't. And guys, this show, I want you to defend Trump without mentioning Biden throughout the show. And guys, please, it's very, very important. Hit the like button right now. Hit the like button, guys. I need as many people as possible to do that right now. And please subscribe to the channel. I got to build up some more subs so I can start doing regular shows. And I can bring people on the screen and debate them and all that good shit. So I need you guys to be subbed because YouTube is just going to keep suppressing my algorithm the longer I go doing these vertical lives. LOL, this guy has no smarts. Well, you could try me at 410-941-9850. We'll see then. Tia Fireball, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Lost Monkey, okay. The majority of us just refuse to join the side of hate and name calling, but hey, you make money off it, so do your thing, I guess. Lost Monkey, are you serious? The side of hate and name calling? I'll tell you what, if you could show me any president in history who calls people names more than Donald Trump and insults people and degrades people more than Donald Trump, I'll shut my channel down and turn it over to you. You are insane. You guys are I'll tell you what, Lost Monkey, watch the chat. As I'm just talking to people, you're going to see people call me a libtard. You're going to see people call me stupid. They're going to talk about, for some odd reason, that I'm bald. They're going to call me fat. They're going to say every type of despicable thing to me. You guys are hilarious. Everything is projection with you. You guys call people names more than any fucking buddy does. Plus, you're all full of hatred. You say racial slurs, homophobic slurs, everything. But that's all you do is name call because none of you, not one of you, can hang with me in a debate. So you just start insulting me. If you can't spot the con, you're the mark. Exactly, Rockin' Poochies. I like the name. Obviously, wish you would get off my algorithm. Okay, well, here we go. This is what I'll do in the right before, I'm sorry, I got to read a Dolce Daddy's comment just to help you out, bro. So you won't feel so inclined to watch the show. I'm just going to block you. How about that? Since you say nothing of substance anyway, and I'm tired of hearing you piss and moan like a fucking little girl. If you're street smart, you know the streets are filled with criminals. Oh, of course. Yeah. I know the White House is too. Can I just say street smart women as well? Oh, no doubt. 100%. A lot of the women are more street smart than the men who are supposed to be street smart. You know what I mean? No doubt. The big, beautiful Mel Gibbs tax cut to the average person and stops an increase of taxes 1,700%. Big, beautiful Mel Gibbs tax cut to the average person and stops an increase of taxes 1,700. I'll tell you the truth, Rick. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Let's go back and forth discourse here or just one side. No. That's what I do. We go back and forth. LOL, Bob, just be honest with yourselves and admit that you MAGA types are scummy vermin and are objectively bad for humanity. I will be the true own, whatever your name is. Jersey Girl. Thank you, Jersey Girl. If MAGA were actually concerned about illegality, they would not be supporting a convicted felon, and MAGA would want the law to provide a path to citizenship, which it does not. Of course, and you got to remember though, they'll deny that he's a felon. Not a single one of them will admit that he's a felon. They'll say no, they're fake felonies. Fake felonies, sure. They're all lawyers. All of a sudden, MAGA people who could barely put two words together they have law degrees. MAGA were actually concerned about our jobs, they would have prosecuted at least one employer somewhere they never have. No, of course not. No, they don't bother them. The people that hire the undocumented immigrants and stuff, no. Let me see. Sean S., what's going on? I don't agree with everything you say, but I admire your passion. It means a lot to me, Sean. I appreciate that, brother. MAGA would read our Constitution and laws. They would adopt American values. They would cultivate American virtues, and they would learn to use the English language. If MAGA would read it, yeah. You're absolutely ill-informed. Fox's MSN and lies equally to CNN, MSNBC, etc. You lie equally to MSN. I have great empathy for your feeble. Do you mean feeble thought process, Jim Groover? Jim, you've done shit like this before in this chat. You come in here and you talk shit. And again, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't watch Fox or any mainstream media. Zero, literally zero. That's what you do. I don't watch that shit. But Jim, since you're so much smarter than me, call me at 410-941-9850 and be a man and debate me. But you won't because I'll embarrass you. You know that. Donald Trump is the poster boy of name-calling, degrading, and minimizing other people. Yeah. What is a feeble thought process? He can't spell feeble. He's a fucking idiot. Do not call this individual. He is simply engagement farming. Do not pay his bills. No, Jim. Don't. Oh, I used to deal with that on MobTube when these scumbags would be like, I'm not going on the show to debate him. I'm not getting him views. Meanwhile, I got 50 times as many views as they did, on my own. No, Jim, you won't call because you're afraid because I'll eat you alive. So you're making it up like, no, don't. This is the reason I won't call. Yeah, right. Hatred is the leftist playbook. Really? So it's hatred, or it's the left that hates gay people, trans people, just LGBTQ people in general, black people, Muslims, Mexicans, women in some cases, stuff like that. It's not the right that. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I remember when Joe Biden had a dinner at a restaurant with Nick Fuentes and Kanye West. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That was Donald Trump that did that. Yeah. I remember when the left was endorsed by the KKK and every white supremacist group in America. Oh my God, I forgot again. That was actually Donald Trump and the Republicans. That's right. I remember seeing a bunch of liberals running around flying the Confederate flag. Oops. Turns out it wasn't them after all. Brought to you by the DNC. You can't get rid of Trump. Just wait until his presidency is over. Just wait. What's going to happen then, Entice Man? Let me hear the QAnon conspiracy theory. And what's brought to you by the DNC? Do you think I get paid for this shit? Yeah. Donations to the channel. That's the only way. And to the guy who's talking about views earlier, I had people say this on my regular shows one time, and there was a month where I made my check, which is just for the super chats. It didn't include Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. It was $4,800, and $63 of it was for views. I know people think you guys make tons of money off of views. Guys that are big political channels that are doing fucking, they do uploads all day, 5-6 uploads a day, and they get, 300, 400,000. Oh yeah. 400,000 a video. Oh yeah. They're making a living off of views. Democrats can't even figure out which bathroom to use, but you're criticizing us. Gabriel, I vote Democrat, and I know which bathroom to use. This is just stuff you've been fed. It's not actually true. Everybody I know is Democrats. Nobody is confused about which bathroom to use. And again, we could talk about Trump covering up the Epstein files. We could talk about the harm the big, beautiful bill is going to do to working class people. We could talk about that Trump cut funding to cancer research for children. We could talk about all these real issues. The fact that inflation is up, groceries are up, utilities are up, unemployment is up. But you guys, it's always the same two things: trans people and now I lost my train of thought. Oh, and Mexicans. It's always the same. The border, bathrooms, men and women's sports. It's all it ever is. The KKK, what's close to the line with the Democratic Party? I would check that. KKK, what's close to the line with the Democratic Party? I would fact check. Okay, Rick Young. What does that mean again? The left love to murder babies and assassinate its opponents, even though right-wing violence is like 5 times what the amount of left-wing violence. Sure. Yeah, I remember that leftist Dylan Roof when he went into that church and started killing all those black people. Oh, wait a minute. No, he was a white supremacist. He was on the right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Fuentes is a weirdo. Oh, it's true. It's true. You see them in here. Antifa, BLM, KKK, all Dems. Isn't that funny, Outback Pondering? They started the KKK long time ago, right? But now, BLM, Black Lives Matter. What does that tell you? I'll tell you what it at least should make you aware of. The big switch. The big switch. Yeah, the Republicans are the party of the KKK now. You know? The Democrats are the party of civil rights now. So you guys are so dumb. They created the KKK and all they support Black Lives Matter. Well, I think you just ran into a little roadblock. You know, I think you fucked up. You want to rethink that and say it all over again? Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Very. The KKK, that's the one I read. If you think it's bad now, it's only down from here. No low, he won't sink to. He's lower than whale shit at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. And they're going to try to get as much horrible shit done by the midterms as they can, because it's quite obvious the Republicans are going to be destroyed in the midterms. It's going to be a blue fucking super tsunami. There's no question about it. Jimmy Sprinkles is a chronic MAGA beta. Yeah. He is a questionable felon. The Sixth Amendment and all the case law says the jury has to be unanimous. And just because New York law says it doesn't have to be, doesn't mean it's constitutional. Laws get appealed. Well, states can, they make up their own laws. Believe me, I'm in Pennsylvania, has some of the weirdest laws in the fucking world. And Mike, it's very simple. If you're correct, his case will be overturned for that reason. But it's just amazing to me that he's been a convicted felon for what? Well over a year now, right? He's got all the lawyers in the world and unlimited resources, yet he's still a felon. Didn't get overturned. There's no such thing as I love you, Mike, but there's no such thing as a questionable felon. I'll give you an example. If somebody with my felonies or somebody with Trump's felonies, if we both walk into a gun store and fill out the ATF paperwork for a background check, we're both going to be turned down and most likely arrested for trying to purchase a firearm as a felon. Okay? Felonies are felonies are felonies, period. In the government's eyes. You know, they don't differentiate. They don't say, well, selling a little bit of weed or coke, that's certainly different than killing 19 people. Oh, no. Felony's a felony's a felony. Embezzlement isn't the same as selling crack on a corner. No, they don't see it that way. A felony is a felony is a felony. And Mike, if this was Joe Biden's case, and I know you're a fairly fair person, you would have no questions about these felonies. You'd have no problems with them at all. At least MAGA wouldn't. I don't know about you, Mike. Biden and the Clintons hid the files. Really? How'd they do that? The KKK was closely aligned with Democratic Party. Was, keyword. Yep, was. There was a corner, guys, hit the like and subscribe, please. 149 people right now. There's a corner store by me that's selling magic mushroom bars, and they're illegal. They got raided for selling Delta 8 stuff. I want to tell them to get rid of it, to look out. Oh, yeah. Well, they don't fuck around with that shit no more. 20 million illegals. Darn right it's an issue. Darn. Can you show me those exact numbers, like a credible source to the exact numbers of illegals that entered the country under Biden? No. Why not? You'll be helping them. Nobody loves trans more than the Republicans. I barely heard Democrats mention trans, yet the Republicans love to speak about them. These nuts, 100%. 100. What the fuck? 100%. Like Kamala? Not once during her campaign did she mention trans rights of any kind. Not once. But look at this chat. They're all worried about trans people. They don't care about women. So it's not, the men and women sports thing and stuff. It's not about the women. It's about the trans people. You know what I mean? Everything they say is bullshit. They're angry, bitter, miserable motherfuckers. And because they ain't shit in life, they need somebody to look down upon. So they got trans people and Mexicans now, None of these people are worried about the illegal immigrants coming through the north border, the white illegals. No, nobody's worried about that. No. Just that southern border. I wonder why. I'm from Kentucky, and I hate him with every fiber of my being. Nice, Randy Spencer. Well, you're one of the smart ones. You research nothing. Everything you say is parroting, talking points, no context whatsoever. You sound like you cram for a test. Okay, well, then 410-941-9850. It's so funny, though, isn't it, Jim, that if you go back through my shows, you can barely ever find me being proven wrong. Isn't that some shit? You know that everything is a talking point, right? Too stupid? You know that, right? Or two, right, stupid? That's what I meant to say. You do know that, don't you? Everything is a talking point if you talk about it. I can give you context for anything I talk about. You're just too stupid to listen. Jimmy Sprinkles, you're one of these MobTube fucking idiots, by the way. I know who you are. You're supposed to be blocked from my channel, I believe. You're a troll. But you would never call this number and debate me right now, even though I'm so stupid, right? Never. And guess what? Sounding like you cram for a test is a hell of a lot better than sounding like you don't even know how to speak the English language like most of you MAGA motherfuckers. And also, at least somebody who crams for a test knows shit. You guys don't know anything. Look at it like this. Brian says Democrats started the KKK. Yeah, and it absolutely means nothing today because the Republicans of today are the Democrats of back in the day and vice versa. Dems can't even admit Antifa exists. Well, that's because it's more of an ideology than an organization. Everybody should be Antifa. Antifa means anti-fascist. How could you not be Antifa-minded? How's that possible? It's funny, none of these guys who call me stupid, they just don't want to call in. Ain't that some shit? Can't call from a private number. I don't answer private calls. I have them blocked on my phone for good reason. Just call me from your regular number. What do you think I'm going to do with it? Everybody calls from their regular number. Unless you just want to call to say some fucked up shit on the show or something. Confederate soldiers started the KKK. They were Democrats at the time. Now the Republicans fly the flags of the creators of the KKK. Exactly. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Right now, don't wait. Especially if you agree with me, hit that like button and subscribe. Why not? It's free. It's a free way to help. Please subscribe. Democrats fought to keep slavery, and now Republicans would like to reinstate it. Again, it was called the big switch. Democrats are the party of corruption. Oh my God, Spencer. Yeah, tell me how exactly, and we'll compare. Tell me how. Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in first degree in his New York criminal trial. I have never heard people. The 34 counts were based on 11 invoices, 11 checks, 12 ledgers. Yeah. I have never heard people fight against a conviction before, like this before. And not even people that were wrongly convicted of shit. I mean, they are hook, line. They buy his bullshit hook, line, and sinker, okay? And they refuse to admit he's a felon, so they got to find a million different ways to say, well, they're not real felonies. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. Look, deport Muslims. See what I mean? Now, tell me again how the Democrats are the party of hate. It's funny how the so-called... So you don't, by the way, you don't believe in the Constitution either, right, bro? Because, we do have what's called freedom of religion in this country. At least we're supposed to. It's funny how the so-called rights say that we are killing babies, but Trump and them are raping babies, which tells me they are also killing babies. Yeah, no shit. Not only that, but, once the baby's out of the womb, they don't give a fuck about that baby. They don't want it to have WIC, food stamps, Section 8 housing, any cash assistance for the parents to make the kids' lives easier. They don't want free school lunches. They don't want anything for the kid. Nothing No handouts, but they insist on bringing the baby into this world. Young Republicans texting each other Nazi shit. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Yeah, anybody who tries to say the Democrats today are the party of racism, you need a fucking lobotomy. The comment, yeah, Kamala had it in the bag. I guess you're referring to people thinking Kamala was going to win. Let me explain to you why, Spencer. As a matter of fact, people that voted for Kamala are more intelligent, more well-educated than people that voted for Trump. Now, you got somebody like me. I thought Kamala was going to win. I also thought Hillary was going to win. You know why? Because for people like me, it's not easy to believe that there's that many stupid people in this country. Every election with this fucking guy, I say to myself, no. There's too many smart people in this country. There's no way he'll be elected. And then I find out I overestimated the intelligence of the American population, you know? So it's smart people thought she had it in the bag because they can't imagine being stupid enough to vote for Donald Trump. The 10th Amendment would disagree. States are able to form their own courts and write their own laws. Isn't the right supposed to be the states' rights crowd? Well, until Trump is involved. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. At some point, nobody wants their agendas stuffed down their throats, and unfortunately, that is one party that's really good at it. The current Democrat Party has changed. So the right, you wouldn't say they force their agenda down people's throats with all the racist shit, the Project 2025 shit with the Heritage Foundation, all that. The constant trying to convince America that brown people are bad and the richest people in this country deserve more than they already have, while the poorest deserve to starve. Shit like that. You sure about that? You want to rethink that by any chance? Because I got to tell you something. I vote Democrat. I always have. I have never had the Democrat agenda shoved down my throat. Never. It's very simple. It's called being an independent thinker. You make up your own mind. You know, how could they shove it down your throat? Like Trump shoved his cock or Bill's cock down his throat. How? Sorry, I had to throw that in there. How could they do that? Because like me, if I listen to the liberals talk about transgender issues, I'm not interested. I don't want to hear about it. So I just don't. You know what I mean? It's very simple. I say, okay, I agree with this issue. I don't agree with this issue. So, and again, the trans agenda, which I'm sure is what you're talking about, Eric M., I've never heard it shoved down anybody's throats by the Democrat Party, and I listen to everything. Okay? I've never heard anybody try to convince me or my children or anyone else to become trans. And again, Kamala didn't even mention it on her fucking in her campaign. You are a stupid, brainwashed liberal who actually believes the news. You are blind. Again, you guys can keep saying that, and I'll keep telling you, I don't listen to the news. I listen to 3 or 4 independent journalists, and I fact check everything they say. So I don't just believe them. Biden and Obama appointed judges. Who are you talking about? And by the way, George Diaz. Oh, your last name is Diaz and you're a Trump supporter? Oh, then you definitely won't call in to debate me. Well, I know your level of intelligence now. Yep. Trump handlers will keep throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. They blame it on dementia Donnie. Yeah. You may win, but you're still R-worded. Nice. See? Yeah, the right isn't the party of hate. They don't call people names and stuff like that. No. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's extremely important. Damn, I didn't realize how behind I was. My apologies, people. Please hit the like and subscribe right now. Whatever, I'll debate. Whatever you want to debate. Trump-related shit. Just hit me up. 410-941-9850. Just 3 or 4? Yeah. Just 3 or 4. And I fact check the shit that I hear from them. I don't just believe shit because sometimes I've caught them lying. Like Ben Meiselas, Got the biggest podcast in the world, even over Joe Rogan. Left-wing podcast. It's called Midas Touch. A lot of the Midas Touch people, that all they do is tell the truth. I've never caught them in a lie. Ben Meiselas lies through his fucking teeth about Donald Trump, and I can't stand that. Just yesterday, he did a video where he said Donald Trump was in a rage and at a press conference, and he slammed his hand on the table, and he walked out. He stormed out. And then I watched it, and Trump was just like, all right, no more questions, and got up and walked out calmly. I'm like, you lying motherfucker. You're going to lie about, you don't have to lie about Trump. There's enough bad shit that's the truth. But Ben Meiselas lies through his fucking teeth about Trump. I can't stand that. I can't stand lying about anyone. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I always have. I don't lie about my enemies, and I don't think anybody else should either. Oh, shit. Mr. Anonymous 6. Thank you, brother. $99. Yo, Chris, hate politics, catching up on early show. Thank you, man. It means the world to me. You already know. Appreciate you. Obama, only president who could dunk. Goddamn right. Let me see. MAGA supporters think fact-checking is a liberal hoax. I had a guy in here the other night who said to me, fact-checking is bullshit. Now think about that. This is how brainwashed people are, that they think looking for the true answers is bullshit. In other words, what he was saying is just listen to what you're told and believe it. Don't fact-check it. Of course, if I say something he doesn't agree with, he's going to say, why don't you fact-check that before you just say it? You know what I mean? They're ridiculous. And I said, you're telling me that the world would be a better place and politics would be better if nobody fact-checked politicians. And he basically said, yes. Think about that. And you know why? You know why Democrats are all for fact-checking? Because they're not lying to you. You know what I mean? J.D. Vance at his fucking debate, when they fact-checked him, said, whoa, 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 I thought we weren't going to do fact-checking on this show. And he proceeded to lie about everything. You know, why would he be against fact-checking if he's telling the truth? White man here more intelligent than you. You might very well be, Richard. I don't claim to be the most intelligent person in the world. But if you say something like that, you should probably just debate me and prove it. And the number is 410-941-9850. And by the way, guys, this guy said, don't call him. He's looking for engagement, whatever the fuck he said. I don't like talking to you people. I don't even like debating you. I am disgusted by all of you. I don't even want to be in the same room as any of you. Okay. No less, even being on the phone. But the reason I always challenge people to debate is to prove a point. It's not about getting you to call. It's about showing everybody that you won't. You'll call me stupid all day, but when I call you out, crickets. You'll just keep doing your little drive-by comments in the chat, and then when I challenge you on those, you'll change the subject, So believe me, I am not an extremely smart individual by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just smarter than MAGA. Hello? Hello?
Hey, you have this caller right now? Who has this caller?
There's the guy on YouTube right now.
Oh, you the one live?
Yeah.
So I just really want to know what your viewpoint is. I see, like, you say you're not with the trans stuff and all that. So what is your viewpoint?
On trans stuff?
No, I'm just saying, period. Like, you're saying you're independent, you're not Republican, you Democrat or not, you don't like the trans stuff, you just ignore it. So I just want to know what really is your viewpoint.
Well, a lot of liberal issues I don't agree with, and a lot of Republican issues I don't agree with, but there's also some on both sides I do. Like, as far as the trans stuff, this is all I'll say, and I shouldn't even talk about this on YouTube, but I see things for what they are. I see reality as reality, and I will not let anyone change my reality. So if somebody claims, if somebody's really, if they were born a boy, for example, and now they're trying to convince me they're a girl, I'm not going to let you do it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, and I'm not going to
respect that.
Yeah, I'm not going to bend over backwards.
I don't want you to get too deep into it and get yourself into
shit, but you know what I'm saying. I won't bend over backwards to please anyone. I don't, it's just not me. So they don't bother me. I have no problem with trans people whatsoever. What the problem is, the the fact that people have to change their reality now and see things through different eyes just because society says so. I don't like that.
Right. All right, so I guess my next question would be, because I want to know what to debate with you with. I mean, so I say to you like this, I'll give you a little short story of myself, right?
Okay.
Convicted felon. I served over 14 years in prison, state, federal, all that, right? Now, mind you, I'm not no robber or nothing. I sold drugs. I did all that as a young kid. So, long story short, I just voted for the first time. I voted for Donald Trump. So I didn't vote for him because I think that he's a wholesome individual or what he does in his personal life, because I don't care about that. Just like I don't really care about trans people, whatever else they got going on in their personal life, right? But as society as a whole, I believe that he bring a more wholesome approach in realism. How you were saying, you respect reality. So the reality of the situation is that he's more realistic than what that Democrat stuff was showing. And honestly, right?
Yeah.
Everybody I know see it the same way. I don't care if they white, blue, black, brown. It don't matter what color they are, gang, not gang. The most people I run into that argue the most is the people who don't know what they're talking about. Like, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I've been on the streets and I see people saying that black and brown are like together. Like, brown is the most racist people I've ever met in my life. They separated and they hate black people.
Yeah, I've heard people say that before.
No, I mean, I see it. It's like a fact. Like, if a black dude starts beating up a white dude, the brown person will help him. So it's just, like the narrative out here is like everybody's racist, whites is racist, this, white is racist, that. That's not even reality of really what's going on. So, like, I don't get caught up on the racist stuff. And I think that kind of holds, like, people back. They get a bunch of help. They're told that they need assistance from everything. When most of the people I know, I live in the state of Maryland. It's a whole bunch of Section 8 everywhere.
You're from Baltimore. I can tell by your accent.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, it's projects, it's hood everywhere. If they start making some of these people work, it's not going to be all that no more. I don't know one person on Section 8 that needs to be on it.
See, that's not true, because I'll tell you why. 39% of SNAP recipients are children, and 76% of SNAP recipients work at least a part-time job. Amazon and Walmart, two of the richest companies in the world, they are the biggest employers of SNAP recipients. So in other words, even those corporations depend on SNAP so they can pay their employees garbage, bullshit money, because, hey, they'll just go get on SNAP and they won't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So if companies like Walmart and Amazon paid their employees a living wage, they wouldn't have to, all these people wouldn't have to be on SNAP. And also, a lot of the recipients of SNAP are very, very sick, disabled people and very, very old people who just can't help themselves.
I mean, so you look at it from a statistics standpoint, right? But I also know a chick that's selling SNAP cards in random people's names that you can buy for $200 right now. She's got about 500 of them.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Let me give you like this is what I was going to.
Statistics don't really move me when I see there's something different. You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you why you shouldn't think that way, because you're looking at it from the viewpoint of the hood, which that's where I'm from too. You know what I mean? So I used to sell crack and coke, and I used to trade people for EBT cards all the time. I'd give them to my mom, whoever, to go get groceries, so when you're in that bubble, that's what you see. But when you step out of that bubble, you start to realize that a lot of people on SNAP are not people who are taking advantage of the system at all. They're people that can't live. I know people whose parents are on SNAP because they do not get enough money from Social Security to eat, and they're incapable of working at this point, and they need to eat. They need to feed themselves. Plus, you got to remember, 39% of SNAP recipients are children. So what do? If we decide, well, we ain't giving their parents shit because their parents might take advantage of it. So now those 39%, which represents millions of children, they just starve because we don't want to take the risk that their parents might be scumbags.
So I see your viewpoint of, open heart and all that. That's cool. But what you mean, like the kids is on SNAP? You mean like the kids' parents is on SNAP?
Well, the kids' parents can only get SNAP because of a qualifying child.
Right.
Yeah. So in other words, the parents wouldn't be able to get SNAP, but for the fact that they have those kids, and they're below a certain poverty level or whatever it is. So
and I got you.
So they have to give it to the parent, but the purpose of it is for the child. But go ahead.
I got you. So hear me out, right? So this is the main thing I don't like the most about the Democrat stuff, right? Besides, I got 2 daughters and I got 2 sons. So besides the trans stuff and all that weird stuff, so let's ignore that, push that to the side. We can acknowledge that there's like some weird movement. But when it comes to like the government taking care of all your needs, right? So let's just say your 5 most things you need the most to be successful. So let's just say food, government takes care of that with SNAP. Housing, government takes care of that with Section 8. Transportation, you get the little transit card where you can ride for free.
Yeah.
Daycare, so you get all that stuff for free. And I ain't saying that you shouldn't, that some people shouldn't get it. I'm just saying that some people who do get some of these things, now once you get a raise, right? Once you earn past a certain income, they start taking it away from you. So literally, I know people, a lot of people who won't accept a raise because then they have to start paying for their daycare.
Yeah, me
then
too.
They have to start paying for their food, or then they won't be qualified for the same rate as Section 8. So what I'm saying is that I get it when people are really in bad situations, cool, help them. But the main focus should be to building these people up, not keeping them stagnant. And Baltimore, so Baltimore is stagnant, been forever stagnant. I don't even think the city has a chance. So when we're talking about a place like that, let's go to other counties. You got people making the same income in the same situation, and it's hoods all over the state of Maryland. So it's not nothing, different nowhere else. It's a Democratic-run state. And as I got older, I started to notice, like, I know, 2-year tags is like $1,200 now in the state of Maryland. Yeah. It was just $400 last year. But the government just raised the rate on everything on transportation if you can afford it. If you can't afford things, then it gets handed to you. But once you make any type of money, like say you go get a CDL, you start making $100,000 a year. That $100,000 don't even go far no more, because you don't even need help. You don't want help. You try to start doing things how you supposed to do them. In democratic states, everything more expensive.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, because I go to Florida, Miami and Fort Lauderdale probably twice a year. And I've never, outside of Manhattan, I've never seen a place more expensive when it comes to transportation, food, anything you want to do basically in Florida. I mean, we spend $12,000 on a trip for just 3 of us for like 9 days. You know what I mean? So it's the most expensive place I've been in outside of Manhattan. See, the thing about these things is, like, I'll give you an example of how much I know exactly what you're talking about. I knew a guy, him and his friend, huge drug dealers. Huge. And when I say huge, they were getting money, bro. Money. And one of their chicks was on a Section 8. And I was talking to her one day, and she was talking about how she can't wait till her food stamps come in at midnight. And I said, food stamps? I said, bro, these 2 motherfuckers are probably bringing in $40,000 a week. You know what I mean? And she looked at me straight up and said, I am not paying for food with my own money. So believe me, I know about the people that take advantage, but what you got to know is that there's so many people that don't. And believe me, it's the majority that doesn't take advantage of it. It's the majority. And things like you were mentioning, free transportation, free daycare, stuff like that is in place. Of course, bums are going to take advantage of it. But they're single mothers and stuff like that need, in order to go work, they need a daycare. And that's why they put that in place, is so that people that do want to work and don't want to take advantage of the system, they have a little bit of an advantage. They can get free transportation to and from work. They can get daycare to watch their kids without going broke, because the daycare probably costs more than they make every week. So the only way to do this, bro, to get rid of the people who take advantage of it, is to say, okay, forget about all the people who truly need it. Fuck them. The old people, the children, if they starve and die, that's fine. As long as these dudes in the hood and people like I just described, as long as they don't take advantage of the system, we don't care who suffers. And that's not the way we're supposed to be, bro. I mean, it's funny because a lot of MAGA people are Christian. And if you read the Bible, everything in the Bible is literally about taking care of the poor and feeding the starving. I mean, everything. But yet these same Christians are fully against actually helping the poor, feeding the starving, the hungry.
And I get you, and I don't want to cut you off or nothing. And I don't want to hold up your podcast or whatever. I was honestly just watching Broncos news, and then I swiped up and heard you. So I was like, oh, dang, what's going on? What are you talking about? So but hear me out though.
All right.
So I get the warm-hearted stuff, and we got to be warm-hearted, and we do help each other. But where do you draw the line at that says, okay, stop with all the handouts. Let's have some real progress and stuff that where the government don't got to take care of generations of families. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's got to stop at some point where your whole family bloodline got to stop being taken care of by the government. You might have one or two people that dip and start doing their own thing. And that one person normally that separates is the person who changed their mind and doesn't vote Democrat no more. And they got a different mindset or something like that.
Well,
I'm just saying, like, my mother is a cold-hearted Democrat, and she argued me up and down when I told her I was voting for Trump, right? I asked her one reason, why you don't like him? She don't got no reason. She was just voting for a woman.
Yeah.
Like, she can't say nothing. Oh, he's this. He's racist. I don't care. All of them are probably racist. Kamala probably racist. I don't care about none of that. What's that got to do with betterment of society? He's not going to go teach people to be racist. So we know that's not going to be a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just say, as a grand standpoint, and I like somebody like you who ain't really beefing, you know, and all that other crazy cussing or just running away from a conversation. But I don't know, yo, it's just got to be a line to where we stop taking care of people that can actually take care of themselves.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? We got to reward it. And it goes just like the same thing. You know, when everybody talk about the same situation, no one little answer to the situation.
No.
It's like a complex circle where everything's got to connect to bring it full circle. It can't just be like a simple, oh, well, we got to help the people that's poor. So I guess people that's going to be getting over in the system just going to have to get over. Yeah, I get it.
Well,
it's all right. So it's cool. I get it. But when's that going to stop, though, to where we can single out the people who really do need the help? And we can avoid all the extra stuff that we basically create a system. I don't care what you do. They had little kids playing Fortnite. Boom, they learn how to scam. So it don't matter. Like, somebody's always going to learn how to scam the system. It's just got to be a line. So on the viewpoint, I don't care about Biden. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about none of that. I just care about who's going to get to the point. And the only party that I seen getting to a point was the Republicans. I feel like with the Democrats, we just spinning in the sink and keep having to plunger it to push the shit down.
Well,
that's it. Like, we just going in a circle for nothing.
Let me just tell you something since you said that. Red states that are run by Republicans, the red states in this country are the poorest, least educated states in this country. And they've been that way for about 50 years. So the Republicans literally keep people in place and spinning, like you said. They keep them in place. It's in their best interest to have poor people. And first of all, they need uneducated people to vote for them, because really educated people are going to see that there's not many Republican policies that are appealing to the working man. Well, hold on, give me a second. But they need poor people for cheap labor. It's very simple. Nobody gets richer without people that are poor. So they keep wages low. The federal minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009, primarily because of Republicans. They don't want anybody to get any kind of assistance. In other words, a hand up that can help. Although, check this out, and this is true, you could check it out. A disproportionate amount.
They do get some type of assistance, though.
Hold on. A disproportionate amount of SNAP funding goes to white people in rural areas of these red states. So it's more of them getting SNAP funding than there is people in the big cities, at least per capita. Okay. So when you look at it that way, and here's another thing, this money, our tax money, is always going to go somewhere, right? But with the Democrats, it's going to go to those poor people. And yes, some of them are going to take advantage. And if we lived in a perfect world, nobody would need assistance. But the richest people at the top, that's who gets that same money under Republicans. So in other words, there's regular welfare and there's corporate welfare. They say about the average working man, about $36 a year goes to, like out of your paycheck, goes to SNAP funding and welfare programs. About $500 to $800 a year goes to corporate welfare. So corporate subsidies so the rich can get richer. And when these people like Elon, Jeff Bezos pays a 1.1% tax rate, but your average teacher pays 35%. That's because of Republicans, not Democrats. So these people.
Hear me out, though. I get you.
Well, hold on. Let me finish real quick. Let me finish.
What other people but
hold on. Let me finish real quick, bro. So what I'm saying is, you know, you got these rich people who continue to get richer, which is basically, trickle down economics, but it never trickles down. When these people, these richest people get tax cuts, it goes to stock buybacks and giving themselves huge bonuses, basically. It never trickles down to the employees. So because you have corporations that want to pay people garbage money, these people need assistance because they can't live on it. People have only so much capability, you know? So there's always going to be poor people. There's always going to be sick people and children who it's not their fault that their parents are trash. It's not their fault. They deserve to be able to eat. They didn't ask to be brought into the world. And the Republicans are the ones who insist that these unwanted babies be brought into the world. So how are you going to force people to have the babies and then abandon them as soon as they're born?
Hold on now. You see, it's more context you added in there, right?
Yeah.
So remember, it's not just a simple open and shut door like that. And then once I learned that it's not that simple, that's when my viewpoints changed on a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So like when you say one thing, there's another leg that attaches to that. You can say like the kids, they don't deserve. Yeah, they don't. You're right. And any human is going to say, nah, that's a kid, man. I'm gonna look out. Like something like where I'm from, the community looks out. So, and we know like the parents ain't shit or they hooked on dope or something like that. Everybody else try to look out, right? But we can only do so much. So I understand like it ain't the kids' fault and it hurts the kids in the long run. But when do it stop though? So the answer is when do it stop, not just let's keep it going, right? Because we're supposed to be creating an environment where this don't exist no more.
But it can't.
And then on another aspect, when you say the abortion thing, right? So now mind you, you probably think I'm black, but I'm not. I know I sound a certain way.
I have no idea. All I know is by when you say like to and do, I know you're from Baltimore. That's all I know.
Funny. Nah, you funny.
That's that accent, bro. You can't miss it.
So you know in Maryland that racism shit don't exist. So nobody in the state of Maryland is paying attention to racism, right? So we don't care white, brown, everybody like Latinos.
The whole state of Maryland is non-racist? The whole state of Maryland is non-racist.
Maybe out in the mountains somewhere. Nobody care about that stuff. But I'm saying, like, what we deal with around here ain't really we don't deal with like a California racism. We don't deal with that type of stuff. So we just focus on like current, present, what's going on, real up on times. And when I say abortion is so promoted. That's what I think that the Republicans is trying to get on top of, is that it's too pushed forward. Like they tried to get my son in school to do a project on abortion rights. My son don't believe in abortion though. Yeah. So he got to he had to do papers on gay rights activists and abortion rights. He come home, he said, Dad, I don't like none of this stuff. Why I gotta do it? So what I'm saying is that the normalcy of an abortion is being pushed, and the normalcy of the homosexuality is being pushed.
How's it being pushed though? How's it being pushed? Like, where do you see commercials for, hey, come get an abortion at Planned Parenthood for only $99.99? Like stuff like that. Where do you see this? Because I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. And trans stuff. I mean, again, Kamala refused to even mention trans rights during her campaign.
But honestly, right? Who honestly listened to anything Kamala said? So
I did.
Ain't listening to nothing she said anyway.
I did. See, that's the problem, though, bro. If you don't listen to one side, how can you decide which side is right? How could you just say, I'm ignoring Kamala because I think Trump is the guy? If you were to listen to Kamala, you would have known that her fucking her policies are a lot better for you and me than Trump's. You know what I mean? A lot better.
So I'll give you an example. I did time in USP Hazleton. It's a penitentiary in the federal prison system in West Virginia, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
It's a poverty-stricken state. The COs out there, they poverty, they broke for real. They from like Pennsylvania, that little mountain area, right? So it's all like hillbilly stuff and all that, right? I came home. Dudes that hasn't been gone for years is still stagnant in the same place, still doing the same little routines, still doing all that, right? I come home at home 6 months. I'm already on track. I'm making over $100,000 a year. Now I've been home going on 3 years, and it's nothing but gotten better. So what I'm saying is that for somebody who doesn't have the background of a whole bunch of support, what's stopping every single person that doesn't have a malignant or whatever that shit is, where they hurt and, some type of issue to where they can't work? What's stopping all that?
People ain't shit, bro. There's gonna be some people who ain't shit, but you just answered it yourself. Look at vets.
You reward the people that ain't shit.
How do you
I'll tell
do
you
that? How do you do that? There's
look,
360
when I was
million
locked up,
people.
when I was locked up, my kid's mother, I left 3 kids out here. I have 4 now, but I left 3 kids out here. She couldn't get no SNAP or nothing. The only thing that helped her was when Trump's daughter, I guess she was pushing that little because she made too much money for SNAP. So I guess what was that stuff that Melania Trump? Isn't that what her name was? Her daughter? I don't even know her name.
Melania is the wife. That's Trump's wife.
Yeah. So whoever the daughter is, she was pushing the daycare. That's who it is. So she was pushing the daycare vouchers to, if you make so much money, then you can qualify for the daycare vouchers now. So she used the help in that time to get the daycare vouchers.
So wasn't that a good thing?
Under the old policy. So I'm not against nobody getting help and all that, but
so okay, so let me just say this, bro, because what it sounds like to me is, as long as it benefits you, it's okay to get the assistance. But if it doesn't, now let me say why I said that. Hold on.
No, don't twist it. Let me talk. I'm saying when you draw the line that you can't just consistently give somebody help for their entire family, generational.
Hold on though. MAGA people,
we just keep creating with the same help from the government.
MAGA people that you agree with, after hearing what you just said, they would say, was your own fault for going to prison. How come your kid's mom gets to get government assistance because you decided to be a criminal? That's what they would say to you.
I never heard nobody say nothing like that.
Oh, then
what they do say,
that's because of where you are.
They do say, I'm telling you, what they do say is, bro, you use the system to your benefit, and I'm glad it was there to help you.
Exactly.
And now you don't need it.
You use the system to your benefit. There you go. So that's what.
Right, and now
you're literally describing what the people you don't like do.
Context, big homie. Remember its context, and now you don't need it because you used it correctly.
So how do you know that the majority of people using these programs don't have a very similar story to you? You're just putting a generalization over a fuck ton of people, and you don't know their individual stories.
Well, listen, there's exceptions to every rule. So what I've told you is that the people who can work and can get above the hole, which is probably 90% of the people who's on this shit, right, that I've met in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the people who can, they're supposed to use it to get out the hole and then start doing it on their own without it. It's help, not providing. You're not supposed to be provided for by the government. In that socialism, you're supposed to use it as a crutch. And then when you're able to walk on your own, you stop using it.
So how do you know how many people on welfare are using it for the same reason your kid's mom had to? Because you're in a bubble, bro. You're in Baltimore. So you're just going to see people who take advantage of it. What you don't realize is a fuck ton of these recipients are wounded veterans and people that were born with disabilities and people that lost limbs and children and old fucking people who just don't make enough money through Social Security. So they have to get it or they don't eat. Those people are not taking advantage of the system. Those are the people it's meant for. So your solution is get rid of it all. Like there's an expression.
No,
hold on. Give me a second, bro. Bro, give me a second. Bro, don't talk over me. Give me a second.
I never said get rid of it all.
Bro, you gotta give me a second. There's an expression: liberals will feed 1,000 people just to make sure one doesn't starve, but Republicans will starve 1,000 people just so one person who might not deserve it gets to eat.
I mean, okay.
Or doesn't get to eat.
You know, saying, right? Well, what you're saying, I'm saying, isn't what I'm saying. So, if somebody's viewpoint is to just cut it off, then I don't agree with that. But what I've learned and what I've seen isn't that Republicans just want to cut it off. It's that they see it the way I see it. So there has to be some type of progress shown while you're on it in order for you to keep deserving it. And then you should be weaned off of it like medication. It's to help you, not to provide for you for the rest of your life, unless you fall in that low percentage that does need it their entire life.
Yeah. Well, listen,
I agree. That majority of the people that's on it don't need to be on it. Listen, they got grandmothers, mothers to children, all the way down.
I know.
On the same assistance.
I agree with you on that part. I totally agree with you on that part. I told you I lived in the same type of area you lived in, and I know those people. I think there should be a limit to it. The problem is Republicans have yet to come up with a solution. They're the ones that want to get rid of these social safety nets, but they don't want to come up with a solution for how you decide who needs it and who doesn't and how long they need it for. You know, so you got one party that wants it, one party that doesn't, and neither party's coming up with a solution on how to make sure only the deserving people get it. So I agree with you. People shouldn't be on it for life. The problem is there's no way to determine who is who. There's just no way.
But that's the point right there, because I've never seen nobody. When it comes to the assistance stuff, I never seen no one Republican just say, "Cut it off, let them die. Only the strong survive." I never heard that.
They just did it. They just did it. The food stamps were cut off. Hold up, bro. The food stamps were cut off. Donald Trump was ordered by a judge to release contingency funds that they have set aside for that exact type of situation. The judge ordered him to release those contingency funds to fund SNAP, and he defied the order.
Are you talking about the government shutdown that just happened?
Yep.
Man, come on. We talking about a small sample size that both sides use as whatever political leverage. And that's when I say I don't get into politics, is that's the part I don't get into, or what they do to like manipulate the people or whatever. You know, Democrats had their little way of trying to manipulate, saying, look, Republicans taking your SNAP, all this other extra stuff, and the Republicans put it on the Democrats. That's when you get caught up in the wash instead of really what's going on in the real world. Like,
yeah.
Anybody that I know sat and really relied on, what is that, $200 a month, or I know a chick, she got one kid, she get $1,200 a month. That shit crazy, but it don't work.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that if that's a wake up call that some people need, I mean, not everybody. The girl I know that needed that SNAP benefit because she decided not to work when she could.
Yeah.
I hope she gets better because she realized that the government can take it from you at any moment. And that's the reality of the government providing for the people, is that at any moment they can take it from you without any warning or anything like that. Just because somebody's beefing in politics, they can take it from you. So as a smart American, especially as a man, then a man should want to level up and not allow the government to take care of his peoples. So the motivation is, okay, look, yeah, we down bad. We can use this, but we got to get off of this shit. This shit right here ain't what it is. We got to be able to make our own bread. That's the motivation. So that's what should be pushed and taught. Not a whole bunch of, Republicans taking away SNAP. Democrats want to take care of you. Like that right there is poisoning the brain of the people. Like, and then get you to vote. Like all the dumbest people I know vote Democrat. They got all the wildest viewpoints, all the craziest, outlandish stuff they agree with.
I don't.
I mean, I don't really know. I just seen you for the first time, but to you to get caught up in like personal stuff, like he's a felon. Who cares if he's a felon?
I do. Let me tell you, bro. I'll tell you why it's important. Okay, let me just go over this real quick. So Trump is a guy that cheated on every wife he's ever had. Okay, he was sued for refusing to rent apartments to black people. He was accused of sexual assault 27 times. Somebody said in here, Kamala is a deadbeat. Meanwhile, Trump declared bankruptcy 6 times, and every time a business failed, he refused to pay his employees. He didn't even pay the union workers that built his fucking casinos. He stiffed them too. He's found civilly liable for sexual assault once. He's convicted of 34 felonies. He's twice impeached. And he was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl, on top of being caught on tape bragging about grabbing women's pussies without their permission. Now, you have a son. You want him to look up to that guy and say, that's how I make it in life?
No, but I'm never going to teach my son to look up to
That's why it's important. No, but they're going to. They're going to. You don't want your kids seeing this.
Listen, man, hear me out. You got to stop holding government so high. The government don't hold value in my home.
The leader of the free world isn't. You shouldn't worry about who the leader of the free world is. You're telling me it's better. Hold on. If a kid has to have a role model, it's better for them to have this guy I just described rather than a woman who graduated Howard University, went on to become a prosecutor, a district attorney, an attorney general, a U.S. senator, and then a fucking vice president. You're telling me if you had to pick a choice, as somebody that you want the rest of the world to see as our leader, you want that scumbag.
All right, so hear me out. Hear me out.
All right.
So look, hear me out.
I'm listening.
Trump is a businessman. I'm not making this about defending Trump because he's a grown man. He do his own things. But as a businessman, not as a president, is when he bragged about grabbing a coochie, right? So what I'm saying is this. Hold on, hear me out. You're a man.
So his title changed him. His title
A
changed.
straight man, I assume, right?
Of course, I have a beautiful
You've been
wife.
to a club, I've been to a club.
Mhm.
When I get VIP in the club, I get bottles and we have fun and I'm smacking ass. So me saying, man, I'm smacking ass, man, girls will do whatever when we got the section, that makes me a piece of shit because I'm telling you what reality is.
It's not right. I wouldn't do it.
How's it not right when that's the reality of the
Because if you can
situation?
get pussy, why you even got to be slapping bitches' asses? Why don't you just get one bitch and slap her
That's
ass?
what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about, listen, it's not getting pussy. That's entertainment. So as a man, and you know, going to a club and having fun, that's just a part of entertainment. Them girls are just entertainment.
But the majority of
man,
women,
you a
you're talking
billionaire,
about
all you
hood
gotta do is
rats.
grab 'em by the
The
pussy.
majority of
Listen,
women don't want to be touched without their permission, brother. That's why it's a crime.
And that's probably a fact. But a woman who is rubbing up on a billionaire, and most women that you've probably met in your life, and I've probably met in my life, would give a billionaire whatever they wanted.
Then
So
why
let's
did
just be
they
real
accuse
about
him?
the situation.
Why did
And he's telling you
27
his life
women
experiences
accuse him of
as
sexual
as a
assault?
billionaire.
So why did 27
Come on,
William
man.
complain about it? One of which was a
Man, come on.
13-year-old girl. Bro, I'll tell you what your problem is, in my opinion. You are Baltimore minded. You haven't stepped out of your bubble to see let me tell you something. The women like my wife and women I deal with now that I left the streets and shit, my mother, my daughter, they're classy women. If you slap them on the fucking ass, you got a big fucking problem. They're not hood rats. They don't want that shit. You got pigs that are in a club just because they want bottles and money. Those are not the women that represent America's women.
And that's the viewpoint that liberals and why y'all talking don't get the respect that y'all want, because when somebody's telling you about real life situations, you take it to a sensitive point and say, oh, my mother, my sister. Clearly nobody's talking about your mommy. Or
You're talking about women in general.
I'm not talking about my daughter.
You're generalizing women. And you have a daughter?
I'm telling you real life.
You have a daughter?
I'm telling you real life, man. Real life.
How come Joe Biden,
now,
Barack Obama, how come no other president has ever done any of this? Only Donald Trump. Why?
Hold on, watch this, man. Remember you said for my son to respect the woman that went there? Watch this. They asked. Just answer it real quick.
All right.
Hey, me and my son ready to roll out, so I ain't going to hold you up long, but watch this. My son's 18. When we went to the club and had the section, the girl that she was smacking on the ass and she was begging for drinks, what school did she go to? I know she goes to Howard. She goes to Howard University, home.
So she's a pig.
Place that you telling my son.
So she's a pig that went to Howard.
That vice president lady went to. The girl went to Howard, man.
The
girl that was bent over.
You're comparing her to Kamala Harris? You're comparing her to Kamala Harris because they went to the same school.
No.
Okay, then what the fuck are you saying? It don't make sense.
Listen.
No, I said every position that she attained after going to Howard. I said every position.
Howard doesn't mean shit, man. Her going to Howard doesn't mean nothing.
She became
a prosecutor doesn't mean she's a good person.
She fought crime. Donald Trump's a criminal and she fought crime. Donald Trump is a criminal and she fought crime. You don't see the comparison I'm making?
Man, you're saying he's a criminal based on, listen, man.
Based on crimes I've seen him commit.
That's the talking point that all liberals are saying right now.
Oh, my God, bro. I've seen it with my own eyes. Now, you're telling me about the real world, but when I tell you about what's going on in the real world, it's invalid. It don't mean shit. I watched the man call the Secretary of State in Georgia and ask him to fabricate 11,000 votes so he could steal the election. I watched it with my own eyes.
All right, so look, listen, you see how you're generalizing every Republican, right? Jesus. So speak for the person that's like me, that's a Republican, right? Yeah. Well, I don't give a fuck about none of that racial shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that political garbage. All I care about is real world activities, and that my son learns real world activities and my daughters see real world activities. So my goal is to make my daughters raised not like the women that we're used to seeing, and make my son be on point and on guard for the women not to have in his life. It's different.
Why would you teach your son to slap asses in a club, bro?
Because he's a young man. He turned 18 years old. What are you talking about? You got to be realistic, man.
I'm realistic. Believe me. I have 2 stepsons, bro.
Kamala Harris wasn't getting her ass slapped in the club?
I guarantee you she wasn't. I guarantee it.
Come on, man.
Bro, no good woman that's worth anything is going to allow that to be done to herself. No good woman. You're talking about pigs, bro.
Man, listen, I'm talking about reality.
Okay.
The liberals do not live in reality.
Your
man.
reality is not everyone else's reality, not even close. People with class and sophistication do not slap women's asses, and they do not get their asses slapped. That's the majority of America are smarter than that and classier than that.
So listen, let me tell you what's going on now today, right?
Yeah.
Is that these women is gonna, hopefully they don't get caught on social media, but the way that they act now, from teenagers to 25, 27 years old, they just gotta hope that they get a man that doesn't mind accepting their past. That's it. That's reality, man. You gotta understand what's going on.
What about the women? Hold on. What about the women that don't have a shady past and ain't got to worry about that? Bro, you're talking about Baltimore. You're talking about the shittiest city in the history of the fucking world, bro. With the worst people you could possibly imagine are in Baltimore.
And I understand that, but I wasn't in Baltimore. We was at a club in D.C.
Okay, number two. The same place where Trump sexually assaults women.
These two cities you talking about are 100% Democrat. They never vote red.
So there's not shitty Democrats?
Listen,
Donald Trump's a Republican.
Girl group, there's always, listen, you said what?
Donald Trump's a Republican. Matt Gaetz was a Republican. All these people that are accused of sexual assault in the government, they're all Republicans.
Man, you keep talking about accused of sexual assault. None of these dudes are sex offenders. What are you talking about?
Donald Trump was found civilly liable for sexual assault. Matt Gaetz was caught giving Venmo payments to underage teenagers so he could fuck them. Linda McMahon was caught in a child sex scandal in the WWE. Pete Hegseth has been accused of sexual assault. What do you mean?
You keep saying accused. If somebody's not a sex offender, then I don't even care if they're accused of something that they didn't do.
See, let me tell you something, bro. If you're my best friend in this world and you're accused of raping a teenager, we ain't friends no more. I don't give a fuck if you're guilty or not, because nobody I know who's never sexually assaulted anybody has been accused of it. Nobody.
See, that's where it's different. I've been in prison. I got a homie that got 15 years. But he was drunk and she was drunk, and she got on stand and said, I had sex with him. I just don't remember it. That was second-degree sexual assault or second-degree rape or some shit like that. He got 15 years for that shit.
I'm sure there was more to it
he
than
ain't no rapist. And that she was drunk, he was drunk. Nah, when you come to the joint, you got to show your paperwork. So the transcripts that were at his trial had to come in with him.
And that's all she said is I don't remember it.
There's different scenarios for everything, right? There's different scenarios for everything. And you got to teach the young men nowadays not to get caught up behind these women, because the women are scandalous as hell. So, of course, we're not talking about every woman. I have a good woman. So it's not. We're not talking about these type of women, and the women that aren't like that get put on a pedestal and treated differently.
You got a good woman, but you're in the club slapping asses. See, this is your character I'm talking about.
Man, what are you talking about, man? I just said I was in the club with my son, and my son slapped the ass. I said, what are you talking about?
How does your son at 18 get into a club where you got bottles?
Yeah, absolutely. What you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. You don't realize everything you're saying is ass backwards. This is not how people are supposed to be the way you are. It's not how.
You're not living in reality, man.
I live in reality like you do, except I'm a guy who has class. I'm a guy who respects women. I'm a guy who respects my kids. If I saw my fucking stepson slapping a girl's ass without her permission, I'd knock his fucking teeth out.
Do you have kids?
I have a daughter who's turning 25 next month. I have a 13-year-old stepson and a 22-year-old stepson.
All right. So what I'm saying is that if your stepsons, right, you go to a club, that is what they will be a part of.
I don't think they would, bro. Bro, you're generalizing all men. Please do not put my stepsons in the same fucking category as people like you're talking about.
What they gonna do in the club then, boss? Stand there?
Bro, let me tell you something. How come I'm a DJ? Hold on. I'm a DJ. I DJ'd for 7 years in nightclubs, hip-hop DJ, right? How come I'm talking about some of the biggest parties, gatherings, celebrations you can imagine? How come I never had to just touch a woman that doesn't want to be touched? How come I could just pick a chick and take her home?
Why are you saying a woman that doesn't want to be touched? That's that political talk. These women want to be touched.
Oh my God, bro. God forgive. Listen, I worry about you. I don't want to say that.
A woman goes into a section and don't
Bro, what kind of chick are you
And
describing?
that's what, and to the point, that's what Trump, and to the point, that's what Trump was saying, is that when you're a billionaire, you can just grab him out of pussy and get your way, because that's his reality. He's been able to do that in his life because that's what the women wanted, not because, oh, sexually assaulted. They wanted to be a part of a billionaire's life.
So okay, so a pedophile who's just like a serial pedophile who's just molested one kid after another. Hearing him brag about that's no big deal because that's just his reality. Yeah.
Notice how
Crickets.
Notice how everything that's said, you turn it into a different talking point with like trigger words. Like,
No.
oh,
One thing, if one thing applies, the other thing applies. Listen, for your reality, sexually assaulting women is normal. For a pedophile, molesting kids is normal. It's their reality.
Yo, listen, homie, why are we even talking about pedophiles? That's not even a topic.
Yeah, we should be talking about rapists instead.
You know how you said somebody will talk about trans? You sure do talk about sex offenders and pedophiles a whole lot.
That's because they're the scum of the earth to me, yeah.
And pedophilia isn't even a reality in my world. That shit don't even
You got to step, bro.
Don't want to be touched.
You live in such a small bubble. You don't even know what regular life is like. Yeah, debate over. Yeah. Come on, bro. You don't even know what real life is like. Are you kidding me?
So look, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it because everything that said you twisted. But look, man, I wish you the best.
Same to you.
Your viewpoints and all that, and I hope it does something for you, yo. I hope eventually, right?
Yeah.
That you just see things for what they are and can accept.
I do 100%. That's why I know what Republicans are all about. Because when I listen to a debate, I listen to both sides. You refuse to listen to Kamala, so you're not even informed on this shit.
Listen, man, hear me out. I would never ever vote for somebody who allowed women to be competed against by men. Never.
Oh, so it's trans people you have a problem with?
No, I said by men.
Those would be trans people. There's not just regular men competing against women. Okay, there's no such thing.
All this respected women, listen, all this respected women stuff that you got, but you would literally put somebody in office that would have men compete against women, destroying women's sports. You know the WNBA don't make no money anyway.
Can I tell you something?
Put a man in there.
I know you don't like numbers and statistics. 560,000 NCAA athletes in this country. 7 of them are trans. It's not a real issue you're talking about. This is the fear mongering they throw at you to distract you and shit. It's not even a serious issue, bro. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Live and let live, right? I don't like men being in women's sports, but I'm smart enough to know that it's not a real issue. It's not 17 million people losing their health care. That's a real issue. This is not.
Keep going, don't you?
I'm giving you numbers, bro.
But listen, man, you living your life by a set of numbers that can easily be fabricated.
They're called facts. Right? They're facts. Yeah, they're facts.
It's the fact that you got, right? It's not your reality. Your reality is caught up on YouTube and pieces of paper. If everybody just focus on what they got going on in front of them instead of what they reading or something else, then maybe we'll be a more realistic country. You need to be more realistic, bro.
What do you know about my life, bro? What do you know about my life?
Man, what do you know about your life? You so caught up in everybody's politics.
No, bro. You don't know me. You don't know my fucking life, so don't make assumptions about me.
So look, I know
you don't know what I fucking deal with.
There's key words that you talk, right?
There's
certain things that you talk that I know that you just do it just to talk, right? So it's just like you're one of them guys, like when you said earlier, you seen a guy smacking a woman on the ass, you knock his teeth out. Man, you know you want to do that.
Oh, I absolutely would. But that's the problem. You got the mind of a Baltimore motherfucker from prison. Your way of thinking is so ass backwards and skewed. Prison and Baltimore, that's what you know. You don't know life outside prison and Baltimore, bro.
All right, listen, hit me out. If you did that where I'm from, what would happen to you?
Bro, again, you're speaking from the perspective of being from Baltimore.
Realistic, man.
Yeah.
If you did that where I'm from, if you was a DJ in a club where I'm from, and you decided not to do teeth saw because he was smacking a chick on her ass. What would happen to you?
Bro, most likely
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let
no,
you accept reality.
no. In reality is most men would have my back. Bro, you know that most people, when a woman is assaulted, men jump in, right? They don't cheer. It's called sexual assault. It's called, bro, you belong in prison. You belong. I hope you fucking reoffend. You got to go back to prison, bro. You do. Society is better off.
I never met a person that slapped their ass that didn't want to be slapped, but you just keep saying protecting women.
Yeah. You're talking about pigs from Baltimore, hood rat pigs from Baltimore.
Man, so now Baltimore's pigs, huh?
The women who let their asses get slapped in a club so they could drink for free or just take some random dude home, fuck them, get pregnant, and then guess what? End up on what? Welfare. Yeah, they're pigs. They're pigs.
Hey, yo, you say some wild stuff when you get upset.
I'm not upset, bro. I can't stand talking to an individual who's telling me that everything that's wrong to do to a human person or to a human being is actually right. You're bro.
You're saying it's wrong to go out and have a good time as a man. That's what you're saying.
No. Yo, I've gone to strip clubs. I've had fun. I was a DJ. I was a customer in clubs, everything. I never, ever just started smacking women's asses.
Female and smacking her ass is not degrading a woman, homie. If that woman wants that, that's not degrading. You're not just trying to let me slap his ass, see how she acts.
So you ask her permission first.
If you dance, have you never been to a club dancing with a female? Be realistic.
Bro, go to a club full of college girls. Go to a club full of college girls and slap one of their asses and see what happens.
You make it seem like somebody just walks up to a female and slaps them on the ass.
That's literally what you described.
That's literally nothing I said.
All right, bro. Listen, man, go do your thing.
That's what I'm saying, though. When you start accepting reality, one, that women like to dance, not get groped by the creep, but when they feeling the dude in the club, you shining, you icy, or whatever it is, females have fun with men in clubs, and men have fun in return.
And that's not what you subscribed. That's not what you subscribed.
What are you talking, man?
Or what did I say? Described. Did I say subscribed? Guys, hit the like and subscribe. That's not what you described. You described being in a VIP section with bottles and chicks dancing and you're just slapping their asses.
Absolutely. You understand that? Chicks come into your section and they willfully come into your section and dance on you and your homies. That's a situation that maybe you don't understand, but that's not giving a woman something she don't want.
Okay. You got a dangerous way of thinking, bro.
Then you said some college girls. Bro, I'm 40. Why would I be around college girls? What?
I was a DJ, brother. That's what I was. I DJ'd for college girls.
College girls is there. Like they don't even know what alcohol they drinking. It's low class, man.
You know, college girls could be in their 20s, right?
I understand.
That's low class. How many rap songs talk about drugging a girl's drink?
What? I don't listen to that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. You sound like a guy who doesn't listen to hip hop.
So what I listen? No, I listen to rap, but I'm not rapping along with somebody talking about drugging a female. You serious? I told you I got 2 sons and 2 daughters. My reality in my life is that I have to teach my sons to be careful of scandalous women, and I have to teach my daughters not to be a scandalous woman. That's it. I don't put my daughters in a situation where they think it's even acceptable to go to a club and dance around men, on men, or none of that. So it's 2 different ways of teaching. Okay, so in other words, you're just describing what I said. You want to raise your daughters with class and not like the pigs whose asses you're slapping. No. Don't say that because your wife could be a pig that ass getting slapped at 18. You don't know that. Bro, believe me, I know enough about her. I know enough about her. I know her family. I know how she was raised. Huh? You don't know who was getting their ass slapped at 18. You just said, hold on. When I was talking about college girls, you said you're 40. Why would you be around college girls? Now you're talking about my wife having her ass slapped when she was 18. You're talking about fully grown fucking women in their 40s, bro. Don't go and move the goalpost. Now you're talking about somebody having their ass slapped when they're 18. You're sitting here talking about grown-ass women getting their asses slapped. Man, we're talking about 2 different things. things, homie. I talked about my son smacking a girl ass in a club when you tried to boost up that Kamala Harris went to Howard University.
No, I said, do you want to talk about what I actually said? Because you said I keep doing talking points and I don't put shit in the context. I said she went to Howard University. She became a prosecutor. She became a district attorney, an attorney general, a U.S. senator, and a vice president. And the point of all that, okay, was the comparison to Trump, who is a lifelong scumbag. It has nothing to do. There's pigs that go to Howard, bro. There's pigs that go to Howard. There's pigs that go to every school.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Go with your son.
No. So what I'm saying to you, right, is that reality is the biggest thing here, right?
Yeah.
The reality is the biggest thing. So sometimes, even as a man yourself, you have to put things in reality. Sometimes you can say things that's a little outlandish. So you can accept certain things, right? You know, the weird side of things, we can accept that. So I can't vote for that. You get that part. That you haven't told me what you're upset about with his movement, other than no side has an answer of how to get people off of government assistance.
I could tell you right now. I could tell you right now.
Agree that no side has an answer.
No. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear me tell you what my problem with the MAGA movement is?
Well, I don't even know what the MAGA movement is. What the hell is that?
Is what you're a part of. Is people who are brainwashed by Donald Trump.
I agree with everything he's ever said.
You agree with enough that you're MAGA, whether you like it or.
So what are you then?
I'm not MAGA. I'll tell you that fucking much.
I look at whoever voted for a Democrat as they voting for homosexuality.
Well, see, that's your problem. It's your hatred and fear of things you don't know nothing about. It's hatred. It's hatred. So far you brought up trans people and gay people. Yeah, that's what your problem is. Meanwhile, you did 14 years in prison.
Listen, you're taking out of context again.
You ever do any gay shit in prison?
I don't agree with everything that Trump has done, but I'm no politician.
Do you even know? Do you know the stuff Trump has done?
What do you like? I don't care about his legal stuff.
No. As president, can you tell me what the government shutdown was all about?
Yeah, I read about it. Democrats, Republicans not agreeing.
But what did the Democrats want?
With the insurance stuff and all that.
What did the Democrats want?
One side said it was illegal immigrants. The other side said healthcare is going to go up. I ain't in that system anyway. I don't know. I think $300 a month for my insurance.
So in other words, it's if it doesn't affect me, it doesn't matter. Because what it was about is the Democrats standing up for 24 million people who got their insurance through the ACA. They wanted the subsidies extended so those 24 million can continue to have their insurance. And the other side said, no, fuck them. We're going to take the subsidies away and make their fucking premiums quadruple so they can't afford it. And that's how we finally get rid of Obamacare.
So who got their way?
The Republicans. So now 24 million.
Everybody's about to lose their insurance, huh?
24 million people. Yeah, chances are they can't afford it. They'll have to drop it. Yep.
So let's see what happens.
There's one woman that just found out she got a letter in the mail, an old woman. She was paying $79 a month for her insurance. Now, after the ACA subsidies extend at the end of December, she's going to be paying $1,700 a month and she can't afford it. So she's going to have to cancel.
Right, and we'll see how it goes. Because all these talking points, it always happens like this. Everybody talks so much and then everything ends up being all right.
You know that Trump cut funding to pediatric cancer research?
Go ahead, say it again.
Trump cut a pediatric cancer research.
Just all in general. That's what I'm saying. There's got to be more contact than just saying like an Instagram line, how you just said.
He decreased funding for pediatric cancer research. That means less money goes to that cause now. That's the context.
All right, and where'd you read that at?
Bro, it's a fact. It's part of the big, beautiful bill and everything else. You don't have to read it from a fucking newspaper. If you know what the big, beautiful bill was about.
I'm just saying there has to be some type of context behind that. Like
Yes. They They were given, as Republicans always do, as Trump did in his first term, they wanted to give tax cuts to the richest 1% of Americans. You have to pay for that. So what you do is you start cutting funding and programs like funding for cancer research, and you start cutting people off of Medicaid and shit, and that's how you pay. And you raise taxes on the middle class and lower middle class, that and just poor people in general. That's how you pay for those tax cuts. That's literally exactly what happened.
My taxes ain't go up.
It doesn't take effect yet, bro. It didn't take effect yet.
All right, so what I'm saying, right? So all this panic, all the time, we always hear these liberal talking points.
Yeah.
I always hear the same over and over again, right?
Uh-huh.
But I was just out here when Joe Biden was president.
Uh-huh.
Everything was worse than even what it is now.
But it actually wasn't. That's just your anecdotal evidence that you saw it through your eyes. It was worse.
You reading aren't like reality.
No. Facts are, by definition, facts are backed up by evidence.
Man, hey, but look, I'm gonna let you go, man.
All right.
Enjoy your podcast. I got a couple days I gotta take care of, man.
All right.
Good talking to you, homie.
You too.
Hey, word of advice, man. You see something you don't like in a club anywhere near me, anywhere near my area, man, keep your hands to yourself.
Or what? Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me. Nah, real men would stand up for a woman. Pussies would go after a guy who stands up for a woman.
There you go. Now you make it seem like I told you don't defend a woman.
That's literally what you said. I said, if I see my stepson slapping some chick's ass, he don't know, I'll knock his fucking teeth out. And you said, you better not do that in Baltimore. You know what's going to happen. No, I know Baltimore dudes. If they see a woman get assaulted and a dude stands up, they're going to fuck the dude up too.
Like, everybody hears what you're saying. Nobody ever said a woman is assaulted. You said if you see a man slapping a woman's ass.
It's considered sexual assault. It's sexual assault by...
It's not sexual assault.
Okay, what is it?
Listen, you paint the picture like it's a random girl walking by a random man.
That's what you described originally. You just changed your story after that.
We're talking about females dancing in a section at a club, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stop twisting it.
All right, bro. You go have a good day.
All right.
All right, peace. God damn, bro. Holy shit. And any of you motherfuckers in the chat that agree with him, no wonder why you're not mad that Trump is covering up the Epstein files. Holy fuck, bro. Wow, man. I don't give a fuck. Listen, straight up. He described in a club and you're in there, you got a section, you're popping bottles and you're just slapping women on the ass. You do that with a classy woman, and you're going to have a problem, especially if she's got a tough boyfriend or a husband. He's going to fuck you up. And he should, rightfully so. You know? And I said I would never allow my stepson to do that. I would not. First of all, I don't want my stepson in a club popping bottles, period. Okay? My stepson, my oldest one, he works his ass off. He works 60 hours a week. He makes a great living, and he supports himself and his girlfriend. Okay, the guy makes, if I even told you, I was astounded by what he makes. And he's 22 years old. He ain't in clubs popping bottles. And if he was, he'd be there with his girl. He wouldn't be slapping nobody's asses. You know what I mean? I'm a guy, listen, I'm from the streets. I'm fully aware of all that shit. I've done shit, you know, I'm as straight as they come. So I'm not saying I haven't done shit wrong. But I was a criminal. I was a scumbag. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I didn't do shit like that. I'm just saying, of course, you know, your whole goal in life is to fuck women, of course. But you don't touch them without their fucking permission. And if some guy, even this guy, I know he thinks he could fuck me up or he's super tough. If a guy like this ever slapped my daughter on the ass, I would blow his fucking brains out. Straight up. Anybody. I don't care who you are. And that would be the end of it. And then I'd go to prison and fuck, you'd be dead. That's it. Let me see, guys. I got some super chats. And there were some comments I wanted to read. There was one from Mike Ramey. I wanted to prove him wrong. It was a terrible comment he made. Sid Life, $5. This caller is teaching his son bad qualities. Stop objectifying women. It's not a good idea. Yeah. Sid Life, $5. Caller, I know life has been hard. Read the Bible and teach your son what God wants him to be. Fear God. Top Corn Biscuits, $10. Previous caller reaffirming the equality or the quality of my upbringing. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Oh, I think you've said stuff like that before. Yeah. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, man. Listen, bro. There's right and there's wrong. It's 2020 fucking 5, and I wouldn't care if it was 1925. You know what I mean? I respect people's space, men, women, and everyone else, because I want mine respected. So if I'm fucking with a chick, if we're obviously, together for the night or whatever, we took a liking to each other, that's one thing. But just because you got bottles and you're in a VIP section, and who is even doing that if you're a working man now? You know how retarded that is? You know what that costs? Like, this is the priorities of people, he keeps talking about reality. What he doesn't understand is, and I could tell from what he was saying, he is not living in reality and never has. He's lived in prison and he's lived in Baltimore. You can see by the stuff he says that he doesn't understand reality. Let me tell you something. I was in a real bad area 20-something years of my life. I was a career drug dealer and criminal, okay? And I was addicted to cocaine and alcohol, all right? In 2019, I decided this is it. I'm done. I got my ass into rehab, all right? And I got better. And later on, I met somebody, okay? And me and her started a relationship, okay? We fell in love, and we eventually got married, and I moved in with her because she had owned this house since 2012, okay? I was living basically in an apartment, right? So I moved in with her, natural thing to do. Out here to the suburbs, where, don't get me wrong, the suburbs irk me. I can't stand my neighbors. I can't stand these fucking people in this area. I don't relate to them. They don't relate to me. I don't like rednecks. I don't like hillbillies. I don't like racist motherfuckers. I don't like Confederate flags. But this is where I am. But since I left all that shit that he's still in, you have no idea how much my eyes opened up to what life is like for normal people. And normal people aren't slapping women's asses. They aren't in clubs popping bottles. They aren't in prison either. Normal people, they raise their kids to be ladies, their daughters, and they raise their sons to be gentlemen and respect women. Even the MAGA people I know, which is very few, even though they defend this cocksucking pedophile we have in office, they ain't having that shit. If you slap one of their daughters' asses, they'll put a shotgun right next to your fucking head and pull the trigger. Okay? I've never heard shit like this, except for when I was living in the same type of area he's from. And that, what it is there, it's a lot of people with no class, no understanding of the real world, who don't respect anyone or their space. And this is the way they live their lives. I've opened my eyes up so much. I used to think it was cool to be a criminal. Now I see things differently. When I started my channel about the mafia, I looked up to the mafia guys because I was a criminal back then. You're way back in my, not when I started the channel, but back in the day. And they were the creme de la creme of criminals. They were the cream of the crop. Okay. After about a year, as I started, because the longer you're sober and clean, your brain starts to change. It starts to heal. And you start to grow up because you've been so developmentally stunted for so long. And being in a marriage with a wonderful, classy sweetheart of a woman, a 100% lady, my thoughts on all this type of shit changed. And I am so grateful that I don't have the mentality he has, because he is developmentally stunted and doesn't realize it. He's stuck in that ghetto mindset. And you know what happened with me after about a year of doing this channel? I stopped looking up to the mafia, and I started talking about them for the low-life scumbag individuals they are. and how in reality, they've hurt nobody worse than their own people. The American mafia is the worst thing to ever happen to Italian people. It took me a long time to realize that, but I did. Now, when me and my wife go out to dinner in my old neighborhood, and I sit there and I listen to all the conversation, and I'm hearing this one ratted on this one just got locked up, this one killed this one's about to get shot by this one, or, it's like my mind takes me to such a dark place, to my past. My wife is fascinated by that kind of talk. I've lived around it my whole fucking life. I can't wait to get out of that restaurant because it reminds me that for 20 something years, that's all I heard. And I was part of all these ridiculous conversations. And yes, my reality back then, that's why I kind of understand where this guy's coming from, but it's not good. My reality was selling drugs. And in my opinion, if you don't make enough money, no matter who you are, you should just start hustling, right? Now I realize that's ass backwards. I've stepped away from it. He hasn't stepped away from any of this shit yet. So eventually, hopefully he will. Who knows? We'll see. But I don't know. It was bad stuff. Bad stuff he was saying. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Fucking right, man. He rubbed up against her. Okay, and what? What's your point? He's talking about slapping her ass. And at first, he wasn't just talking about one chick. He was talking about slapping women's asses. Slapping a random lady's bottom is not strength. He is teaching his son lust. It's just not good all around. Stepsons, 3 wives, seriously, till death we do part. What? Obamacare made healthcare insurance mandatory. The left let insurance triple. In 2023, they voted to extend government subsidies, delaying the issues to vote in 2025, literally hoping insurance is affordable. No, it's not true. That's not the case at all. These ACA subsidies were extended in 2021 because of COVID and shit, obviously. And they expire December 31st. And regardless of what you say, Blood Adult, for 24 million Americans, healthcare is not affordable. It's not. And again, for you to even stand up for insurance in general, insurance in itself is basically a scam, but people do need it. I have health problems. Without insurance, I die, period. Now, luckily, me and my wife are in a position where we can afford it. But there are a lot of people who don't. And your guys' problem is you don't see you guys talk so much about vets. You don't give a fuck about veterans. Because if you did, you'd love Biden's PACT Act, for example. You'd also understand that a lot of those disabled veterans live off of the government because they got no choice. You bitch about homeless veterans, but God forbid somebody gave one of them a home. To you, that's a handout, and there's some sort of deadbeat. Old people. I told you, I know people whose parents have to survive on SNAP and shit like that because otherwise they die. What do you want them to do? They can't work. Children, it's a child's fault their parents ain't shit. No, not just that, but in 2008, look at what happened. The economy crashed. People lost their jobs. They couldn't feed their families no more. So God forbid they took a government assistance. You guys would rather see all the money go way up to the top. I say it every show. The greatest trick Republicans ever played on this country, and it only worked with about half of you, is that they convinced you that the people at the bottom who have no control of your life and no power at all somehow are the cause of all your problems, not the billionaires way at the top who hoard money and just keep getting those tax cuts because God forbid they paid a fair amount of tax. You guys are so stupid that you've all been broke most of your lives. I guarantee it. And even now, even if you're doing semi-well in the big picture, you're still poor. But in your opinion, before that money goes to feed one desperate person, it should go to another corporate bailout. You guys are so ass fucking backwards. I can't even describe it. If you can afford Obamacare, then you're broke. Only bro people can afford Obamacare. It's called Medicaid. You think Obamacare is Medicaid? All right. Yeah. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act makes it possible for people to get insurance. Okay. People from all walks of life. And it's not just broke people. Oh, believe me, it's not just broke people. If I was still a DJ for a living and I was making 100,000 a year easy every year, okay, I was in my early 20s. I had no insurance. If I was still a DJ right now and that was my income, and I needed insurance, I would have to get it through the Affordable Care Act. It's the only way. It's the only way. Okay. Gig workers get their insurance through the ACA, many of them. In other words, waitresses, waiters, people in the service industry in general, people that work, their job gives them just enough hours that they don't have to offer them health insurance. See, the problem with conservatives is you guys care about yourselves and yourselves only. Liberals have empathy for people. Sometimes they have too much, but the bottom line is they want everybody to be okay. And you guys just want to make sure that you're okay. And as long as you're okay, you don't give a fuck who else suffers. And also, you got to make sure those billionaires keep getting more and more money because they don't have enough yet. That's what you guys stand for. Your thinking is so ass backwards that's why I love when you guys call, because forget the debate. I'll just let you expose yourself for being the creep that you are, as you just saw. You always are wrong. Every single piece of information you throw in this chat, I debunk like that. Everything I claim, you call me out, I prove to be true. Same thing. You guys are fed nonsense 24 hours a day, and you're so gullible and naive that you fucking believe this horseshit, even though everything on the Republican platform goes against your own best interests. Everything. You want to see all our money go to the bottom and to illegals. Okay. Do I? Okay. Whatever you say. Yeah. Yeah. I want to see if the tax money is going to go somewhere. Call me a guy with brains. That's about all you could say. I would rather see it go to the people who need it most rather than to the people who have more than they could spend in 10 lifetimes. Call me an asshole, I guess. Okay. And illegals, get the fuck over illegals. I'm so tired of hearing you whiny little bitches. Not one of your lives is affected by this shit. You don't care about illegals. You care about Mexicans. You hate these motherfuckers. You were the same ones 20 fucking years ago wearing t-shirts to say, why do I have to press 1 for English? I know you guys. I was in a grocery store once in a Walmart. Okay. We're walking past the pharmacy area and there's this Spanish chick down one of the aisles with her daughter or something. She's on the phone. She's speaking Spanish. This ignorant white pig walks up behind me and starts yelling. Of course, she wouldn't say it to the woman. She did it as a drive-by, How the fuck am I supposed to understand you when you can't even speak the fucking language? And I said, you're not, bitch. She's not talking to you. Now shut the fuck up and go about your merry way. Okay? Because I can't understand for the life of me why it bothers you so fucking much. Why all this shit bothers you. It is all prejudice and racism, period. You guys don't give a shit. When 186,000 people, white people, pass through the northern border, you don't give a fuck. You don't care when Donald Trump marches in a group of white South Africans specifically only to take jobs, not just regular jobs, 6-figure-a-year jobs. He brought in white South African immigrants to take your jobs, you dummies. That didn't bother you. Now he's saying he wants 600,000 Chinese immigrants to come go to school here so they can do what? Take your jobs. Because when he was asked the other day about this, he said, we need talent in this country. The interviewer said, we have talented people. And he said, no, we don't. So that's what's funny about you. The shit you stand for, your leader doesn't even stand for. I could play you the clip where Trump said Americans do not have the type of talent these foreigners have. And that doesn't bother you one bit. But you're worried about illegals picking fruit for $4 fucking an hour. The whole they take our jobs thing is such bullshit to fucking begin with. Undocumented immigrants cannot take your jobs if you're an American citizen unless you work for some bullshit company that's paying you under the table. You're so paranoid and scared to death of all these fucking groups of people. It's crazy. Look at all of you, all you talk about trans, gay, Mexicans, trans, gay, Mexicans, trans, gay. It's 3 types of people you fucking despise, and you don't even know why you hate them. Trump did give government handouts to big business. That's actually what he did and is still doing. Oh, of course. And we're paying for it. MAGA still think illegals get anything from the government. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. For Christ's sake, let's not even go over it because they'll just deny it. All this stuff you think illegals can get, they can't get. They can't even get emergency food stamps. Forget about welfare and all that. Through the federal government, nothing. They can't get federally funded health care. They can't get anything. They don't have social security numbers. But you guys have been tricked into believing that all that money for the health care, for the ACA subsidies, was actually going to go to illegals having health care, even though that's against federal law. God forbid any of you ever actually did some fucking research. The funniest thing about you guys is I've researched all this stuff over years, not days, not weeks, not months, over a period of probably about 15 years. Okay. I am so well versed on the actual statistics and facts that I can bury you in a debate like that. What's so crazy about you motherfuckers is you'll listen to me telling you the truth, because believe me, everything I'm saying is well researched and it's all facts. And you'll just say, I'm dumb, I don't know anything, because you've never heard what I'm saying before, because you live in this right-wing asshole bubble where all day, all they try to do is keep you terrified. So Republicans, you guys are the biggest fucking pussies on the planet. On the fucking planet. And look up conservatives and large right amygdala. You guys literally have a part of your brain that responds to fear. It's larger than liberals. It makes it so that you're more afraid and you respond to fear differently. That's why you got hillbillies that live 20 fucking miles from the closest gas station stockpiling AR-15s because Fox News has convinced them that the Muslims are coming to their house to get them. Meanwhile, there's no threat of that whatsoever. You guys are scared of anyone you don't know. You've always been the racist people, always. That's why you motherfuckers will hate a whole race. But if you meet one guy and get to know him, he's cool. And you'll say forever, well, I have a black friend. You know, we all know about you guys. You guys are disgusting people. I'm sorry you are. I'm sorry. Dems killed this country. Isn't it funny that, and this is a fact, the last 3 Democrat presidents literally had to save the country from the prior 3 Republicans. Okay. Bill Clinton had to clean up Bush's mess, the first Bush. Obama had to clean up George W. Bush's mess. Biden had to clean up Trump's mess. And now Trump is ruining the economy again, and the next Democrat will have to fix that. How come Trump on camera said the economy always does better under Democrats? Why is that? Guys, hit the like and subscribe, please. Oh, yeah. Well, but listen, I don't want to be a dick. You know, I don't like saying shit to people unless they're right in front of me, or in this case, on the phone. But I pretty much said this to him anyway. He is not your average person. He thinks he is. He thinks the whole world is like Baltimore. Meanwhile, have you ever been to Baltimore? And I guarantee you he's from either the east side or West Baltimore. Do you have any idea what it's like there? Baltimore is like Beirut. It's like you're driving through a fucking war zone. Like you're driving through a fucking war zone. It abandoned buildings, boarded up houses, just fucking drug dealers everywhere, drug addicts everywhere. It's a horrible fucking place. Horrible. So the people that are stuck in Baltimore think like a Baltimore person. They don't think like anybody else in the country thinks. And prison people, they're known for this. They become institutionalized. 14 years in prison. This guy, all he knows is prison. You know what I'm saying? And then he said that Maryland doesn't have racism. What? You think all those people out in Towson and shit, out in the county, none of them are racist. None of those rich white people, all of them would be perfectly comfortable living in West Baltimore. Yeah, okay. I'm a hip-hop DJ type of guy, so Kid Capri, DJ Premier, DJ Qbert, a few different people. Illegals rip off Medicare and Social Security too, dumbass. It's amazing. This guy is on every show, and no matter how many times I prove it, it doesn't sink in. They're incapable of learning. This is why you're so easily taken advantage of by Trump. Illegals cannot get Medicare under any circumstances. And Social Security, you want to hear the funny part? They pay into it in a lot of instances, but can never get the money back. They can't receive Social Security, you fucking moron. They can't. Yeah, government subsidies was a handout to rich insurance companies under Democrats. Insurance tripled. Extending government subsidies only perpetuate this issue. It only lets people continue rising prices. Sure. Because now insurance companies aren't going to do that, right? Now that the ACA subsidies expired, they're not going to continue raising prices, which is a thing that will happen no matter what forever. Except this time, stupid ass, instead of those poor people who can't help themselves being able to get a little assistance to have health insurance, now they can't have it. And guess what that does to the economy? Did you ever think about that, blood-addled? Do you know that they've already projected that in 2026, 350,000 nurses are going to lose their jobs because obviously they're not going to be getting paid. Nobody has insurance. 24 million people don't have insurance. Hospitals will be shutting down all over America like they're already doing in rural areas in red states. Okay? And people will lose their jobs. The economy is going to tank even more. But you guys are too stupid to realize they don't care about the economy unless they could use it to run on. They only care about those richest people getting that money. That's all they care about. Obama was the worst president. Him and Biden. According to your opinion, yes. According to actual facts, no. Matter of fact, 154 presidential scholars got together, conservative, liberal, and independent, came up with a list, and Donald Trump was rated the worst of all. And I believe Obama was rated like the 9th best. And Obama was Obama wasn't. Biden was the 14th, I think. All right. Let me see. The Democrats let healthcare insurance prices triple. Oh, God almighty. It's a tired-ass argument. Let me get way down here. Guys, hit the like and subscribe. Illegals get a taxpayer identification number, so they pay taxes they never see the benefits of. Yeah. I believe it's about $95 billion a year or something they pay in to the economy, to the government. Sid Life, $5. Most politicians lie. Don't let them define your God-given qualities. Previous caller, teach your son about God and not grabbing bottoms. Yeah, for real. For real, bro. And yeah, I'll say all politicians lie. But again, you're talking about regular lying from politicians versus unheard of lying. I mean, I could play any press conference of Trump's and I could point out and prove the lies he's telling. People do it all the time. That's why you guys hate fact checkers. And he lies to your faces. He tells you he's going to bring down drug prices 1,500%. And you guys sit there like, yeah, man. Yeah, you think the fucking the drug companies are going to be paying you to take their drugs? Hello? Yo, I only got a few minutes. What's up?
You can't reason with them people, man.
Oh, I know.
People are out of their damn mind. Listen,
it's quite obvious. There's no way you go to this guy's island every single weekend. They got the damn flight plans for his jet. They had to follow with the FAA. They know he was there every single weekend.
Who, Trump?
You can't go there every single weekend. Yeah, you can't go there every single weekend and not be a pedophile. Come on, that's why you going.
Nah, listen, bro. I would love to agree with you and say you're right, but there's no proof Trump ever went to the island. Swear to God, I've researched it thoroughly.
No. They got the emails where Jeffrey told the one girl, the girl in jail, she got the email comments. They got the conversation on tape of her and Jeffrey, and the conversation with Jeffrey and the Russian billionaire guy. Where Jeffrey tells the guy, "Oh yeah, well he's been there for 2 weeks right now." And he's talking about Trump. That was already on MSNBC.
If that's true,
yeah, that's fact.
Yeah, if that's true, I didn't see that.
They know he's there. Oh yeah. That was on Rachel Maddow already months ago. Oh yeah, that's why they wanted to release so bad. Oh yeah, and the Democrats ain't pressing it because why press it? It's gonna come out when it come out. They don't want to look like they pressed it because then they make everything political. The bottom line on the whole situation is the illegal situation happened because these white, and I know because I was in the construction business for 20 years. These white contractors go to Walmart, pick these Mexicans up, and get them to do the work so they could save money and make money.
Of course.
And now, since all these Mexicans is making this money, these Mexicans are buying houses, starting their own business, and putting these same white contractors out of business. The same people that was hiring them, they're putting out of business because they go into the customers, charging less and doing the same work they was doing for the white guy.
And nobody ever goes after the employers.
Oh, no. He can't go after the employers. Those are the white mega people. He can't go after them. That's his base.
Now you're talking.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing when they try to claim about the racism and affirmative action. I find it so funny. Affirmative action is illegal and it doesn't do nothing for black people because it puts them in positions where they can't do the job that they get hired for, which is BS. White people have had affirmative action in this country since the country founded. You got nepotism and you got people that get in college because they're legacies. That's affirmative action.
You're 100% correct. You're 100%
exactly.
correct.
And I know that, and so it's just a double speak. They are in the business of making sure people in this country stay confused and people don't.
The funniest one, bro. Not to cut you off, but the funniest one is when they say. When they talk about Black History Month and they go, how come we don't have a White History Month? They don't understand. That's the other 11 months. The other 11 months is White History.
Right. It's almost like now, if you look on TV now, you see this big push now for the alien thing because they want to disprove science because they want to believe that white people started to plant. Come on. If you can't even have a white person can't even have a black baby. Where did we come from? We just sprang up. The science is such, you can't stop it. The Egyptians were black men. The kings were black men. That's why all the statues are brown or black. You show me one white marble statue in Egypt. There's none.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Right. So, exactly. So there's plenty in Rome, though. You don't see one black statue in Rome. You see all white statues. Exactly. So, and who are the only kings whose graves they rob and call archaeology? The Egyptians, the black people.
Yeah. So
they degrade black people at every level, and they make sure they do because they are terrified that black, their real fear is not that black people are smarter than them or look better than them or have a better culture than them, even though they try to appropriate it at any chance they get. Their real fear is that they'll be erased off the face of the earth.
Of course.
You realize that black men are the only men on this planet that can eliminate every single race off this planet without violence. All we have to do is have sex with your women, and the outcome will be a black baby. No
Jesus
matter
Christ, bro.
No matter whose woman it is, it will be a black baby. The Jews aren't the chosen people. A Jewish man can't have sex with a black woman.
Chill. We're on YouTube, bro. Chill.
Listen, the chosen people are black men. That's why they're trying to eliminate us.
Yeah.
We the ones that can get rid of their whole race. All we have to do is lay down with them. Why do you think the white men in the South are so pissed off by black men having sex with white women?
I know.
Not because of anything except they know the outcome is going to be a black baby, not a white baby.
Yeah.
That's why they're upset. Right. I mean, the truth is we're going to set them free. You know, I always say the one thing, you know what I mean? The one thing that is always true about everything. You know what I mean? You know, that web that you weave, you got to be wary of it because it's going to come back and snag you. And that's what's going to happen. Just like with the food stamp situation. They got this big myth in this country that blacks are killing us. There are more white families on food stamps than black all day long.
Of course.
Always has been.
Yep.
Same thing with the projects. They got this big myth that the projects that we built, you didn't build the projects for no black people. The projects was built for white families coming from Europe in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Those houses was built for whites. Exactly. So it's everything that they've had that we're starting to purpose is a problem now because they know that those situations, those systems are the same systems and situations that they used to get ahead. Even take drugs. Take drugs. Drugs is a good point. Drugs are not legal in this country. Why? Because black and brown people control them. But when alcohol was illegal and the white people was out here killing each other on the streets and murdering people in the streets, they immediately made it illegal. Why? Because whites controlled it.
Yeah, listen.
And all those whites that controlled it became billionaires and millionaires. They don't want to legalize drugs. Why? Because blacks control it. If they legalize it, what happens? All those blacks that control it become what? Millionaires and billionaires.
Hey, listen, I'm with you on pretty much every point. I got to get going, unfortunately, because I got to end the show in 5 minutes. But call back in another time.
I'm watching this show. Yeah, because I get me and you vibe on a lot of stuff. Because I was on the block till I was 19. I went cold turkey. I didn't go to the rep. I went cold turkey. I'm 60 now. I haven't used drugs since 19. Before that, I got high every single day on coke, marijuana, alcohol, and I was living in the jet.
Well, congrats, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, right. All right. So peace to you, my brother. Your channel's going to be good. Check out Gully TV. He on the same vibe you on.
All right.
And you have a good day.
You too, bro.
Peace.
Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. So Blood Addled says, he says this every show. He says, host pushes lies. He called Trump's trade and peace deals fake. He is an unemployed paid propagandist. Blood Addled, I don't know you. But I'll tell you this. There's a good chance that I made twice what you did last year and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that. You know why I'm not unemployed? Because first of all, I get paid. I receive a paycheck. Plus, I get all types of money in cash and stuff, donations for the channel. And I have to pay taxes at the end of the year. You understand? I have to file as a self-employed individual and file my taxes. That's what I have to, and I have to pay in every time. Because YouTube don't take money out and all that horse shit. They just give you your check, whatever you made. They don't subtract taxes or none of that. Same thing with your cash donations. So I'm not unemployed, fuckface, but I have a feeling there's a good chance that you are. Now he says he won't answer my comment. Every single comment is just some insult, and you never say anything of substance. I've asked you before. Tell me the official trade deals and official peace deals that Trump has made. And you can't do it. So I'm going to give you a chance now before I end the show. I'm going to give you a chance now. Tell me what peace deals and trade deals he made. Trump peace deals. Israel, Iran, Pakistan, India, Rwanda, Republic of Congo, Thailand, Cambodia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Egypt, Ethiopia, Serbia, Kosovo. Not true. And I just to triple check last night, I read the most up-to-date information on this shit. There were a couple of things where he did help broker a peace deal. And most of those, the people have said he had absolutely nothing to do with it, or he kind of intervened a little. There's only, as far as official peace deals, I think there's 2 or 3, like Israel and Iran, Armenia and Azerbaijan, I think, which, by the way, he calls Albania and Azerbaijan. That's what Trump says. There's a couple that there was actually, like an agreement. And so far, pretty much all of them, it's just a ceasefire that's been broken. Okay? The Rwanda Republic of Congo, there was no war. Do you understand that? There was no war. He says he stopped the war. There was no war happening. There was nothing taking place. Okay? You can look at all of them. They are not official peace deals by any stretch of the imagination. And India and Pakistan, India said he had nothing to do with it. Nothing. He just gives himself credit for things, and you guys don't research. So you're stating all this shit as fact right now. Now, where are the, what was the other thing? Trade deals. The official trade deals. Oh, is that right? Oh, shit. 8 peace deals. No. 12 deals, dumbass. Wow. You want to keep going? Anybody got 20 piece deals? 20, 25, 20, 25, 30? Jesus Christ. Did I screenshot this shit last night? I'll fucking read it to you. Holy mother of fucking Christ. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe, please. Okay. Let me see if I can do this, because every time you look it up, you get a different answer if you don't word it the exact right way. No. All right. The Trump administration claimed responsibility for brokering or facilitating other ceasefires and agreements, which have been described by some analysts as transactional, fragile, or exaggerations of existing diplomatic efforts. Serbia and Kosovo. Economic normalization agreements were signed in 2020. That's all that says. Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. I might have been wrong about this one. Let me see. An agreement focused on economic cooperation and respecting sovereignty, whatever the fuck. Sovereignty, Jesus Christ. Though key armed groups were not included in the talks and conflict continued in some areas. Key armed groups were not included in the talks, and conflict continued in some areas. India and Pakistan. A ceasefire in the disputed Kashmir region was announced, although India suggests the U.S. role was marginal. Armenia and Azerbaijan. An agreement involving a transit corridor was announced, which includes U.S. investment rights. That's it. Israel and Iran. A short-lived ceasefire following a period of conflict was claimed. You act like he just made peace between all these nations, and he didn't. God almighty. I hope you're talking to them and not me. Host said illegals pay $59 billion a year in taxes. Lies. Google. The fiscal. No. I said $95 billion. It's either 85 or 95 billion. Now look what he says. Host says illegals paid $59 billion a year in taxes. Lies. Google the fiscal cost of illegal immigration on United States taxpayers. They pay $17 billion and cost $150 billion a year. So again, what you just did is called moving the goalpost. I said that undocumented immigrants pay in, it's 85 or 95 billion a year in taxes. And then you changed it to the fiscal cost of illegal immigration, which we never discussed. Not at any point. Oh. How much do undocumented immigrants pay into the U.S. every year? Undocumented immigrants pay significant amounts in taxes each year, with estimates showing they paid nearly $97 billion in federal, state, and local taxes in 2022. What a surprise, Blood-Addled. I'm right again. I was just off by $2 billion. Huh. What do you know? It's almost like I already had this information stored up here. More recent data indicates that in 2023, undocumented immigrant households paid approximately $89.8 billion in taxes. Breakdown of tax contributions. According to a 2024 report by the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy, these contributions break down as follows. Federal taxes, $59.4 billion, includes federal income and payroll taxes. State and local taxes, $37.3 billion, includes sales, excise, property, and income taxes. There's some more, but it's up to you if you want to hear that. Ineligible for benefits. A significant portion of the taxes paid, over 1/3, goes towards funding programs like Social Security and Medicare, from which they are barred from accessing benefits. I was right again. What do you know? It's almost like I don't come on here and just say shit. I've actually researched it all first. What do you know? They can't receive benefits from the programs they pay into. But you know who can receive them? You, fuckface. Why do I try? Why do I even bother talking to these sick fucks? Why? All right, guys. I'm out. I'll see you a little later on. Probably, yes, did you point out any of those lies yet? Who specifically? I'm going to get going. I don't know if you're talking to me or them. Do I really think Kamala's more qualified? I don't think that at all. I know it for a fact. Everybody's more qualified. Even after he served the whole first term, Big Bird would be more qualified. One of the Flintstones would be more qualified. My dick would be more qualified. Okay? So, guys, the guy, you know that he was on camera a couple of months ago in the Oval Office, and they asked him what the Declaration of Independence means to him, and he had no idea what it was, right? He started talking about some shit that had nothing to do with the Declaration of Independence. For fuck's sake. I don't think he could point out the United States on a fucking world map. Well, I never said he was sharp as a tack. You can't put what other people said on me, and you don't have to worry about my judgment. That's why I provide facts. No, I'm not. I'm just proving that you're wrong about immigration in general because you don't know anything. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. Please hit the like and subscribe. There's only 61 of you left, but do that for me anyway. And I'll see you in a couple of hours with another show. Peace.